Prime Minister Andrew Holness has announced that the new curfew hours will be 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. daily. However, he signaled that it is not the intention of the government to retain this prohibition for much longer, noting, "It has been in effect for nearly 17 months, and we understand the emotional toll that this is taking both on the residents of the infirmaries and their families who would like to see them."
So there would no longer be a no movement Sunday or a no movement day. This new curfew will remain in effect until the 10th of December 2021. I will have some consultations with interest groups, and I will definitely call up the leader of the opposition early so that we can have a consensus as to what to do in Christmas. So this is the holding position for Christmas. However, Madam Speaker, we will reconvene our Cabinet's COVID subcommittee to review these measures in 3 weeks' time, and depending on the level of increase in our vaccination rate and the continued decrease in the positivity rate, then we could come back with even better news. The gathering limits, Madam Speaker, there are no changes to the gathering limits at this time. The general public gathering limit remains at 10 persons. Places of worship will continue to be restricted to having no more than 50 persons in attendance. No crusades, conferences, or conventions are permitted. There is also something this is also something we intend to review again in 3 weeks, along with the curfew hours. The number of persons permitted to physically attend a wedding remains at 50. The limit on persons physically attending annual general meetings remains at 50. Physical attendance at events hosted by public entities is limited to a maximum of 50 persons. And Madam Speaker, these events that are held by public entities are to be controlled events, meaning that the space within which the event is kept, all the protocols must be observed, but it is not a free access space. And the reason for that, Madam Speaker, is that attendance at these events must be for the vaccinated only. So Madam Speaker, in this order, public sector entities that are putting on events must first determine the vaccination status of those who they are inviting to attend. Madam Speaker, the existing work from home directive in the public sector remains in place until December 9th, 2021. As a precursor to returning to work, permanent secretaries and heads of agencies must put in place measures to ascertain the vaccination status of staff in the public sector to facilitate risk assessment and planning. So, Madam Speaker, the permanent secretaries are now directed that they must determine the vaccination status. Ascertain, a nicer word, but after ascertaining, they will make the determination. They will find out the vaccination status of the workers in their charge. And this is to help us now plan for the endemic stage of the management of the disease. Funerals and burials, Madam Speaker, there are no changes to the existing measures regarding funerals and burials. Funeral services are permitted with a maximum of 20 persons physically present, including mourners, clergy, and support personnel. Burials are permitted on Monday to Friday between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. with a maximum of 15 persons present. As a reminder, burials are not permitted on weekends. So, Madam Speaker, let me speak quickly on infirmaries. I have not spoken much about them. Our vulnerable citizens, especially our elderly, who are cared for through the network of infirmaries in the local government system, have been prioritized for protection before and since the start of the pandemic. This has been made possible by the highly dedicated matrons and other managers and staff in the infirmaries. They too are frontline workers, and I must express our deep felt gratitude to them. In addition to a comprehensive range of health protocols that cover the activities of the residents and the service providers with whom they interact, visits by families have been disallowed since last year. These measures have proven to be highly effective, Madam Speaker, and we have had relatively few cases and very few deaths as a result. We are still living through a delicate phase of the pandemic, though, and as a result, the ban on visits to the infirmaries will continue. However, it is not the intention. We understand the emotional toll that this is taking both on the residents of the infirmaries and their families who would like to see them.
Up to the time.